Welcome to Boolean and Comparison Operators lecture. So using operators really is essential for being able to apply logic to our code. And here we have a list of comparison operators where we have the less than sign, the greater than sign, the greater than or equal sign, the less than or equal sign, and we also have the double equal sign, which is checking for equality. Then we have the not equal sign. And these can all be used for creating chain comparison operators, which we'll see by the end of the lecture. Then we have the Boolean operators, which are true with a numerical substitute of 1 and false with a numerical substitute of 0. And the inverse Boolean, where the not statement can be used to create an inverse Boolean outputs. And then we have the membership operator. So here we have the in statement, which checks if a variable is also found in another variable. Okay. And then we also have, lastly, the other operators, which are and then lastly the or operator. Alright, so we'll start off with true, and unsurprisingly the output is true. Then if I were to do likewise the false, we get false. So the numerical equivalents, of course, are true equal to 1 is true, but if I put in, let's say, 100, I get false here. If I put in 0, I get false. So just put this back to 1. And then likewise, if I have false equal to its numerical substitute of 0. So if I put this to, let's say, minus 12, we get false. Or if I put it to 2, we get false. Or if I put it to 1, we also get false. Okay, so let's say I wanted to have the inverse output. So if I do not true is going to be false. And of course, not false is going to be true. All right. So if I were to do true and true, we get true. If I do true and false, we get false. If I do false and false, we're going to get, of course, false. And if I do true or false, we get true. So what's happening here is that Python's looking for a true statement. If it can't find one, it outputs a false statement. So true and true is going to be true. True and false is going to be false. False and false, of course, is going to be false. And true or false is going to be true. Alright, so moving on from that, let's say we work with numbers now. So we have 10 equal to 10 is, of course, true. If we do 10 not equal to 10, of course, that's going to be false. If we have, let's say, 10 not equal to, let's say, 2, that's, of course, true. And we have, let's say, 50 equal to 2, that's also going to be false as well. Alright, so moving on from that, let's say we were to have 200 greater than or equal to 200, which is going to be true. So it's not greater than 200 because, of course, it's also 200 here, but it is equal to it. Therefore, we have the output of true. But if I put a 1 here, it's going to be false because it's neither greater than or equal to 2001. Alright. Let's say if I have 500 less than or equal to 3000, we get true because 500 is less than 3000, but it's not equal to 3000. So essentially, the less than or equal to and the greater than or equal to signs here are essentially asking two questions. And if one of them is true, then you have the output of true. All right. Now let's say, for instance, I have 10 greater than 1 and say I have 4 equal to 4. We get true. But if I have, let's say, not equal to, we get false. So both of these here have to be true. So 10 greater than 1 and 4 not equal to 4 both have to be true, otherwise we get false. Alright, but if I change this to or, we get true. And that's because, like I said before, Python's looking for a true statements. So this here, on this side, is going to be true, but this here is not true. Alright, so moving on from that, let's say we have some variables. So var equals house and semicolon to keep on the same line. var2 equals, let's say, cinema. And var3 equals, let's say, temple. Okay, and I'm going to use all of those. And we'll say, let's say we do O in var. That's going to be true because, of course, O, the string, is inside the string of house. And let's say I do another one of z not in var2. That's of course true because there's no z inside the cinema. But if I do in, we're going to get false here because of course there's no z in there. And let's say I do t, of course it's going to be false, but if I do this with var3, we get true. Alright, so that's the membership operator we've been using. And let's say I have some comparison operators here with it being a chain actually. So we'll make a chain comparison operator. So we'll have here, let's say 24 greater than or equal to 20 is true, and then we'll have, let's say, greater than 4, which of course is true. So this is a chain comparison operator, and that's simply distinguished by the fact that we have more than one comparison operator here. We have 2 in a row. We can have more than that. So let's say I have equal to 4, it's going to be true, and then we'll have and, let's say 50 less than 100 is true, and then greater than 40 is true. So here we have two chain comparison operators. So on this side and then on this side, and they're added together with the AND operator. And then we'll have, let's say, 40 not equal to 100 is true, but if I put this to 40, it's going to be false. But if I change this here from an AND operator to an OR operator, we get true. So this side here evaluates to true, but this here side evaluates to false. Let's just try one more to drill home the points. So I have, let's say, h in var is true. Just to remind you to print var, var2, and var3. So house, cinema, and temple. So we'll just carry on this line here, in this particular cell, and let's say we have z not in var3 and 10 greater than 4 not equal to 50, and let's say 4,000 less than or equal to 5,000, and we get true. But if I change this to OR, we also get true. But let's say, for instance, I change this here to equals, you're going to get true here, and change this one here to AND, then you're going to get false. So this side here is clearly false because 4,000 is not equal to 5,000, but this side here is true. Alright, so that concludes my lecture on the Boolean and comparison operators. I hope that's been insightful, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Q&A. Thanks.